Hello, my lovelies. This is Sass with a little bit of class. I'm Kiara Williamson. Today we're going to be talking about coming out of that comfort zone, okay? Maybe crossing your boundaries a little bit. Um, this week I definitely did that, so let's dive right in. I usually always do notes for the pod, okay? I'm always like prepared, okay? So while I was doing the notes, I was like oh, I'm talking about coming out like your comfort zone, okay? And kind of pushing yourself a little bit. And I was like, I actually have nothing to talk about. Like I've got like one thing that I've done literally this week. And that's it. Like I never really go past that boundary, do you know what I mean? I just like set the bar and thought, I'm not going past that bar. I don't want to know what's on the other side because trying to get to the other side is just anxiety. Do you know what I mean? No thanks. Who wants added anxiety? Not me. But here I am. This week, I'm going to be challenging you to step out that comfort zone, okay? Push yourself a little bit. If you didn't watch last week's episode, I'll kind of catch you up a little bit, okay? I kind of touched on how I was actually meant to be going to a new dance class that I'd been invited to, and I was so excited and a little bit like hesitant when I first got the message, and I was like texting around all the girls being like, right, okay, I've used all invited to, do you know what I mean? Because it's for like under a certain age. So I texted the girls and I was like, right, okay, we're all gonna go. This is gonna be amazing, do you know what I mean? And it's something that I always like, I watched this class perform in a show last year and I thought, I want to be one of them, do you know what I mean? Their dances, the songs they got, the costumes, I thought, that will be me, okay? So let's just say I manifested that. And then when it came, I thought, oh no, that'll never be me. I don't want to be that, no. Don't get me wrong, when the message came through, I thought, absolutely, do you know what I mean? And then as I kind of sat with it, I thought, no, you're not good enough for that. Let's just stay where we are. And that's all, okay? Anyway, so I think we got told like 2 weeks before maybe that it was going to be starting after the new year. So the day came. Thursday last week came and I thought, okay, we're going. I was hyping it up all day at my work. I was telling everyone at my work, I've got a new dance class today. I was texting around the girls that were invited. I ended up coming home from work, getting changed, had a little bite to eat, and it came the time that I should have left my house to like obviously get there. And I thought, you want to know what? I actually don't think I could go. So I texted them to all the girls being like, I'm really sorry, like, I'm not going to be able to make it. My friend was like, that, you kidding? Like, come on. And I was like, no, sorry, I actually just can't go. Sorry to like mess you about, because I'm the one that was like texting them being like, yeah, like I'm going. And then I was like last minute, literally needed to leave my house like 5 minutes ago. And I was like, you want to know what? I'm actually not going to go. Like, I've had a little conversation with myself and I've decided no. So yeah, then I went into my work and everyone was like, how was your class? And I was like, I didn't go. And they were like, you're so stupid. I'm like, I know. And then the next week, literally didn't really think much of it. Just kind of thought like, it was kind of had in my head actually, like, you're going to go this week and that's it. And that's all I really had in my head. And the day came, I don't even think I mentioned it to my work that day. Because I didn't really want to think about it, to be honest. The more I think about it, the more I'm going to then talk myself out of it. So I'm like, let's just not even have that conversation. So I basically came home, got changed, had a little bite to eat, the exact same. Text the gals being like, are you going? They were all busy, okay? And then I was like, right, you're going, like you're ready, you've literally had your tea, you're literally ready to go, just go. And then off I went. And then driving there felt so chill, totally fine. And then pulling up to the car park, I was like, I actually feel sick. I actually cannot. I was like, what am I going to do? I had nobody with me. It kind of sank in that I was literally walking into this class on my own. Didn't know anyone. I actually know of one girl in the class, but I've never really actually spoke to her, if that makes sense. We're kind of just like got each other on the socials, you know? So I was like, what am I actually meant to do here? Do you know what I mean? Went in, ended up seeing my like dance teacher, and I thought, hi, I'm really scared. And she was like, why on earth are you scared? And I'm like, I don't know, it's just scary, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that was how I came out my comfort zone this week. I basically just took that first step. Will I do the show? No idea. Do I feel like I fit in? No, but it was my first week and I had so much fun. And yeah, obviously I messed up and I don't know their dances that they've obviously already done. But I'm in their group chat now. I'm going to be practicing. And I think my friends are going to go this week. So I'm like, that'll be fun. So yeah, the whole dance I just done has went out my head. But I'm like, I think that's just nerves, and I kept like messing up, but I think I was just nervous at the start. And then as like the class went on, I was absolutely fine, like totally fine. After I felt like an empowered woman. Do you know what I mean? I was so proud. Talking about never feeling proud of yourself. I was like that, hyping myself up. I came home, I was so excited to talk about with Connor, my work. I was like that, to put my work, I was like, I went to my dancing last night. And yeah, it was so good. So yeah, that's my sign to take more risks. I feel like coming out of that comfort zone is how you're going to achieve and how you're going to succeed. And I feel like me staying in my little comfort bubble and like only meeting with the friends I know and not really going to social events unless I actually know every single person there. Um yeah, I'm just going to start pushing myself out really. Just these small steps, and that's kind of what it's about. Taking little small steps, like me going to that dance class was like the first step, and then next is like obviously learning the dances and then maybe being in the show. I think I will be in the show. I've got in my head you're in the show. Like even if I'm just doing like one or two dances in the show and not the ones from previously, like that's totally fine. But as long as you just, I think as long as I'm doing at least like one or two dances, then I'm like totally fine. Do you know what I mean? So actually thinking about some more goals, okay, that I can achieve by coming out of the comfort zone. One is to have guests on the pod. I've actually got like a handful of people that want to come on the pod. I've had emails, I've had DMs, my friends want to come on, and I'm like that, oh, I'm really sorry, like it's quite a small space and things like that. I'm just going to be honest, I just don't have the confidence. Like, how am I meant to interview someone? Because that is won't really be a pod anymore, right? When it's a guest, you're really just interviewing someone, and if I don't know anything about them, what am I meant to ask them? I'm actually terrified. I actually said to one girl, yeah, I'll let you know after like the new year and things, and I'll like have a little look into like the setup and that. The thing is though, I've only got one mic and I've only got one chair. Do you know what I mean? And I'm honestly a control freak, so I would really want to like, one, I would need it to be exactly the same. So I would need to have another mic, and if I had to have another mic, I would need to then have like a sim system, and it's all tech, okay? And then I would need to have the exact same chair, obviously. Um, I would need to then make notes and like questions, and I would obviously be sending them the questions as well, so they kind of knew what to say. But I'm like, how terrifying is that to like have a guest that like, and especially because I've not got like a studio, it's literally just like my spare room in my house. So I'm like, I'm just going to invite someone into my house. Ralphie's literally crazy. I would probably just put him away in like the living room while the person came in, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. It's kind of scary having people in your house you don't know. I always feel like people are going to think that like maybe my little setup's like up here and then they come in and it's pure down here. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, what is going on? Because it literally is just like a wee room. So yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do about that one. Another thing I've been working on behind the scenes that's kind of holding me back a little bit is I want to do something else with the pod, and I want to invite you guys along to something. I've kind of teased that a little bit in the descriptions and in the posts and things, but I've obviously not revealed, and I'm not going to say too much. But basically, I kind of want to host something and invite some listeners and things along, but I want to make sure it's like dedicated listeners and people that actually care. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, my inner thoughts and like negative self-talk is just coming in, and I'm just like, could you actually do this? And I'm like that, what? No, what? I actually don't think I can. And then I just kind of push it away, but then I keep coming back to it, and I'm planning, I'm like taking notes. I'm not going to go too much into that, but that's another thing that I can maybe do this year to kind of step up my comfort zone. I just love like what I know. Do you know what I mean? I don't really like coming out, like comfort's like my comfort. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't think being in your comfort zone is a bad thing. I think it's obviously like, that's your comfort, do you know what I mean? Like, it's literally in the name. Like, that is literally like your comfort blanket. So you're not going to want, it's not going to be easy to step outside of that. And I think just my worst thing is me putting myself down and me like being like, you actually just can't do it. Like, that's such a stupid idea and nobody will show up and nobody will come and nobody wants to do that. And like having a guest on will just be like a total waste of time because the video won't even go up and you'll mess up what you're saying and blah, blah, blah. But I need to remember, like, if I did have a guest, it would still be me editing. So anything I didn't want in, I just take that out, you know? But yeah, I don't know. It's just like another person. Like, imagine I'm doing the intro and they're like, why is she doing the intro 35 times? Do you know what I mean? Why is she going, hi girlie, this is about 35 times? Well, that's just what I do, okay? I just need it to be perfect. Um, so yeah, we're going to try that this year, okay? Is it bad that I'm doing it like yearly and not like weekly or like monthly? I don't have a goal for every month and like a BIMJ I want to cross every month. Do you know what I mean? So we're just going to do it in the year. So I've only got 2 for this year so far. And they're both about the pod. Actually, there's been another time this week that I've kind of stepped out my comfort zone a little bit. I've actually started working with this company called Fourth Host. It's actually my uncle's company. And it's basically just all about web design. So if you have a business and want a new website, then drop me a little DM. But basically, I'm starting to make little like short videos of like their businesses, and that's going on their website or like to promote their business, you know. And I thought, wow, like creating content basically. I'm like editing videos and things like that. I'm like, that is a bit of me. Do you know what I mean? That's literally what I do. Then I started doing it, right? I'm not gonna lie, there's a wee bit of pressure, right? Because I've got time frames, right? I've got deadlines to meet. And I'm like, you know what? I actually don't know if this is a bit of me. But we're rolling, we're still doing it, and I'm actually having loads of fun. And I feel like my first proper day is on Tuesday. So next week I'll let you know how I get on. So yeah, if you have a little business, then get in touch with Fourth Host. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's a bit scary. So that's kind of out of my comfort zone, even though I only went into it because I thought I was in my comfort zone because it's what I do all the time. And then I started doing it going, no, this is pressure. Like, this is hard. The like transitions and everything. But I think the more I do it, then the quicker I'll be at it as well, and I'll kind of know what to do, and I'll know how, because I'm using like new like softwares and apps and things like that as well to obviously like create these videos. So I'm like, once I get the hang of that and kind of know how to work all the tech side, then I think I'll be totally fine. So yeah, if you're thinking about coming out your comfort zone, or if you're not, actually if you're not thinking about coming out your comfort zone, this is your sign too. Just try, okay? And give me your experiences that you have stepped out your comfort zone, and whether it's went right or whether it's went wrong. Like, I feel like every time you step out of the comfort zone, it's not always going to be a positive, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you will prove yourself right and go, that wasn't for me. But then at least you'll know, and that's like a new experience. To become more self-aware and to grow your confidence and just grow as a person, you really need to step out your comfort zone, okay? You're not going to achieve anything staying in this little cozy bubble that you've created for yourself and not pushing any boundaries, okay? This is your sign to achieve more and grow and have that experience, because that's literally all life is. Like, you need to get as much experience as you can get. So yeah, it's not always going to be a positive. Sometimes you might push yourself out and go, oh no, actually this just isn't for me and I didn't like that, or it didn't work out, and that's absolutely fine because that's experience, that's growth. Do you know what I mean? You've now developed a further understanding of who you are and what life is. Do you know what I mean? And then if it is a positive, then amazing. You've got a new hobby, you've got a new experience, you've grown as a person. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm gonna go now, just short and sweet. My camera is actually way died, so I'm really sorry about that. So yeah, if you have any goals or anything that you're wanting to kind of step out the comfort zone for, but you're maybe feeling a little bit unsure, give me a little message. I want to know. Do you know what I mean? I need to know all the goss. Keep me in the loop. Let me know how it goes. I will see you next week. As always, keep it sassy, keep it classy, and I'll see you next Sunday. Everything is linked in the description below if you want to give me a follow, subscribe. We're almost on YouTube. We're almost at 100 subscribers, which is literally nothing, but small steps. Do you know what I mean? Small wins, celebrate them all. Anyway, I will see you next week. Love you. Bye.